It may not be summer anymore, but barbecuing will never go out of style. From the exquisite spices to a just right cook, our Prosper Pitmasters have it down to a T. When you think of powering cars, you probably think of gasoline or maybe electric cars, but our Prosper engineering class tested different environmentally friendly alternative ways which they could effectively power cars. And I thought the scares were over from Halloween, but Will Carlisle presents us with the history of Friday the 13th later in the show.
Live from Studio 301 at Prosper High School, this is Eagle Nation News.
Morning, Eagle Nation, and thank you for joining us. Today is Friday, November 13th. I'm Madeline Wentz.
And from 6 feet away, I'm Allison Wood.
Joe Biden became the projected president-elect of the United States Saturday morning. Biden and projected vice president-elect Kamala Harris spoke of unity at their speeches in Wilmington, Delaware that evening. President Trump expressed his displeasure by suing 5 battleground states for voter fraud. So far, none of the lawsuits have been successful for Trump, largely due to lack of evidence.
On November 7th, Chris Nikic became the first person with Down syndrome to compete in an Ironman triathlon. The 21-year-old Florida resident was able to finish the swim, bike ride, and marathon run with 14 minutes to spare on the race's time limit. Nikic also plans to compete in the 2022 Special Olympics.
The annual homecoming parade, which was originally postponed to next week, is now canceled. This decision was made by the Prosper ISD administration due to the rising cases of COVID-19 in the Prosper community. The homecoming game, however, is still set to take place next Friday.
Friday the 13th is a day that comes with mystery and superstition. Will Carlisle takes a closer look at the history behind this notorious day.
Friday the 13th is a superstitious holiday that has been shrouded in mystery for years. Maybe it's because of the entertainment industry's creation of horror movies based on the holiday, or because of a small discrepancy made by a translator thousands of years ago. The origin of Friday the 13th can be traced all the way back to the creation of Hammurabi's Code, which was a set of laws created by the Babylonian ruler King Hammurabi in 1771 BC. A translator accidentally left out the 13th law in the code, and the fear of the number 13 was born. Although people feared Friday the 13th before the 20th century, the mass hysteria was magnified in 1907 when Thomas Lawson, an American author, published a book titled Friday the 13th, detailing a man's choice to deliberately crash the stock market on this now dreaded day. Whether it's something as big as not getting on a plane or as small as not doing a cartwheel, people everywhere recognize Friday the 13th as a day to play it safe. I'm Will Carlisle reporting for Eagle Nation News.
Keep an eye out for anything suspicious, unlucky, or unusual today. Another day that constantly keeps us in suspense is game day. Emily Baldwin is in studio with your Game Time Sports Update.
Thanks, Madeline. Last Friday, the Lady Eagles volleyball team faced off against McKinney Boyd, defeating the Broncos 3-1. With this win, the Lady Eagles notched the district championship and will represent Prosper High School in playoffs. Their first playoff game will be against Coppell, but the time and destination are to be determined. Regardless of when and where the game is, be sure to show up and show your school spirit for our Lady Eagles. Another team looking to make a postseason run is the PHS football team. The Eagles have a bye this week, but will be back in action next Friday for Prosper's homecoming game against Denton Broswell. Moving from the gridiron to the course, the Prosper cross country team is well into its postseason quest. Cross country competed in the regional championship on Tuesday, with the girls team capturing 4th place overall. Aubrey O'Connell crossed the line in second, and with that booked herself a trip down to Round Rock for the state championship meet, which will take place on November 24th. Jack Johnston finished 23rd overall out of 135 runners, just missing the state cutoff by 3 runners. Make sure if you see any of these athletes in the hallways, you tell them congratulations on their amazing season and representing Prosper well. Speaking of representing Prosper well, Prosper Athletics had 22 athletes sign on Wednesday to continue their educational and athletic pursuits at the collegiate level. Grace Escobel gives us a recap of the signing and what these commitments mean for our star athletes.
Senior year brings on exciting new challenges and experiences like signing. PHS athletes playing baseball, volleyball, golf, and more signed onto a college to play their sport.
Signing day is basically where players that have committed to go play college baseball at the next level, or any sport for that matter. It's basically where they're signing a contract that they're going to go attend that school for the next school year.
Early signing day is the first time in the school year when seniors can sign their national letter of intent and lock down their scholarship offer. Signing is the experience that most athletes have spent the majority of their career working towards.
A lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of preparation. You know, from the time these guys were 5, 6 years old even, they've been preparing for this, and most of these guys, this was their goal in the end. So they've been preparing for it for a long time, and not to mention the parents. The parents have put a lot of travel, a lot of miles, a lot of money into getting the opportunity to do what these guys did today.
Training your whole life brings challenges and sometimes painful highs and lows.
I've just worked really, really, really hard. I've suffered from 8 concussions. I just got back from my 8th one, and I was out for 10 months. I honestly was debating on, quitting.
This isn't the only chance for our seniors to commit to a college. The regular signing day comes during February and gives athletes the chance to commit to a college of their choice. Reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Grace Esquibel.
When we return, we'll take a look at the skill that goes into barbecuing.
Barbecuing can be a rather strategic process. Case Spears uncovers how barbecuing takes time and consistency and how the PHS Pitmasters prepare for their competitions.
Prosper Pitmasters is an organization at PHS that allows students to get hands-on experience with barbecuing. Brett Claypool, leader of the Prosper barbecue team, explains how barbecuing is something that takes time but is rewarding in the end.
The main goal for the students in the club is to learn the art of barbecuing. It's a time-honored tradition, hobby, however you want to call it, but it's an old style of cooking. And it's something they're going to be able to carry forward the rest of their lives and be able to do. It's not unlike riding a bike where you learn it once and you remember it the rest of your life. It's going to be the same thing with barbecuing no matter what cooking apparatus you have.
Mr. Claypool goes on to state how mentors and culture are some of the key takeaways for students in Pitmaster.
The second thing, like I said before, I want them to learn the culture of the Pitmasters who have come before them. You know, we're fortunate to live in the state of Texas where we have such an array of different styles of barbecue, and I want them to learn them all. And we go to visit different places of business where they're doing this kind of stuff. They get to meet the Pitmasters. They get to see how things are done, and that's part of the culture that I want them to kind of take with them away is that they have to be able to cherish and honor the people that have come before them, to be able to respect that style of cooking before they can go on and carry on their own traditions.
I'm Case Spears reporting from Eagle Nation News, Prosper.
Barbecuing can certainly take a great deal of time and talent. Speaking of talent, Sailor Jane McKenzie is in studio with an update of some of today's hit celebrities and musical artists in this week's edition of Talent Talk.
Thanks, Allison. On Wednesday night, the 2020 Country Music Awards took place at Nashville's Music City Center and was co-hosted by country music artists Reba McEntire and Darius Rucker. One of the highlights of the night came from Justin Bieber and Dan and Shay performing the song 10,000 Hours. While many artists captured coveted awards that night, 2 that stuck out were Eric Church earning Entertainer of the Year, along with Miranda Lambert and director Trey Fanjoy winning Music Video of the Year for the song Bluebird. Moving from music to television, Tuesday night's episode of The Bachelorette was an eventful one, with Dale Moss's proposal to Bachelorette Claire Crawley last week with a 4.5-carat diamond ring. There was a need for a new Bachelorette, and Tayshia Adams filled the role. Along with an introduction of Adams, multiple new bachelors were brought in, allowing the audience to start picking who they think Adams will fall for. Be sure to visit our Instagram stories at eaglenation.network to vote for who you think Tayshia Adams will end up with. Among Prosper High's large variety of electives, Zach Manning explains how the engineering class continues to push their knowledge.
The Prosper engineering team does a variety of tasks here at PHS. One of those being a solar-powered car race. These solar-powered cars had to make it all the way around the school from the arena to the auditorium. This was not a quick 10-minute project.
It took our team about 2 to 3 classes to build it. I take a decent amount of time out of my day to do some engineering, especially with this project. A little bit of time to take care of everything else that was done. So,
while COVID is still around, they are not letting it stop them.
The first day we were in quarantine still, so it put us back a little bit, but other than that, not too much.
He has 2 certain individuals he looks up to.
The thing that inspired me was both my dad and my dad's friend. My dad works in a bunch of engineering fields, basically making plans, and my dad's friend is actually an electrical engineer that went to my favorite college.
I'm Zach Manning, reporting for Eagle Nation News.
When we return, Ridge Daniel will share the details of a growing development here in Prosper.
The Gates of Prosper is home to many popular stores and restaurants. Currently, construction is underway to expand this popular community area. Ridge Daniel takes a look into how this area is changing.
Built in 2018, the Gates of Prosper has brought many new restaurants and retail stores to this growing city. From Whataburger to Walmart, there are plenty of options at which community members can eat and shop in this area. Since its opening, this retail center has drawn people from all over the Collin County area to come and grab a bite to eat, do some shopping, or meet up with friends. Many people have noticed that on the west side of Preston Road, construction has been going on for the past few months. This construction is meant to expand the Gates of Prosper, causing excitement and eagerness for residents to see what new restaurants and stores are going to be added. Construction of Gates of Prosper Phase 2 is progressing steadily and is projected to open in spring of 2021. The last stages of construction are underway as new vegetation and shrubbery are being added to the area. So far, only one business has staked its claim in this new area. Widely loved cookie delivery chain Tiff Streets is starting to make itself at home. As this exciting expansion unfolds, students will have the opportunity to enjoy a variety of different cuisine options. I'm Ridge Daniel, reporting for Eagle Nation News.
The drill team, band, and color guard performing at halftime is a staple of Texas high school football games. So why not have a night solely dedicated to halftime? Julia Bizion is live in studio with Reagan Newton, who is helping to unite the town of Prosper.
Thank you, Madeline. I'm your host, Julia Bizion, and with me today I have Talent Senior Lieutenant Reagan Newton. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so great. Thank you for joining us. So I want to talk to you a little bit about your personal contribution to the performance that will be happening on Saturday.
So myself and Junior Lieutenant Brooke Black and the 4 officers from Rock Hill, we choreographed a pom routine, and we will be performing it tomorrow night, and I'm super excited about it.
That is so awesome. And now, those are 2 separate schools, so did y'all come into any challenges along the way?
So we had a few miscommunication moments, but we had a lot of late night FaceTime calls and a lot of phone calls to talk about what we had, and we got our cleanings together and we got everything together in the end.
Absolutely. And how do you think this is going to unite the town of Prosper?
So with the separation of schools this year, I feel like we've been a little bit disconnected from each other, and now that we're coming together to perform all in one big group, I just think it's going to be awesome and we're going to be one big family again.
I totally agree. What kind of reaction are you expecting from the crowd?
Well, I really hope that they're shocked and surprised to see all of us. There's going to be about almost 100 of us, and I'm just really excited for all of us to dance together, and I'm just ready for everyone to be amazed.
All right, well, I'm super excited. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Student teachers at PHS are working to gain experience and knowledge of teaching firsthand from our staff. Mithra Kama dives into what it's like to be a student teacher while enrolled in college.
Prosper High's growing education staff is working to help others follow the same path through inviting student teachers to learn about and practice teaching. Student teachers are current students in colleges or universities gaining full-time, college-supervised experience. This requirement proves to be beneficial for aspiring teachers.
So it's been really rewarding for multiple reasons. Obviously, it's taught me how to be a better teacher.
At PHS, Aaron Graham, a current student at Texas A&M, gains experience teaching Honors Algebra 2 under the mentorship of Mrs. Bailey.
I think this is a really good opportunity for any student teachers to do, just because you're not just thrown in a classroom by yourself. And I think that's due to Miss Bailey being an awesome mentor teacher, but also the fact that the students, I feel like our relationships gelled really well together.
Graham's contributions as a student teacher have already impacted not only students at PHS, but his own life as well.
I feel like I've kind of learned how to be funny with the way that I teach, and my personality, I feel kind of gels somewhat well with my teaching style. It's kind of cool to see how that next generation is walking through the same steps that I did 7 years ago and that sort of thing.
As his student teaching term comes to an end this week, however, he is moving forward in hopes of getting a job among Prosper High School staff. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Mithra Kama.
That's all we have for you today, Eagle Nation. I'm Allison Wood.
And I'm Madeline Wentz. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.